Okay, so some use cases for instant storage, boot volumes. You know, it's fine to use these as boot volumes. Just don't put any files on them that you have to retain long term. So if you're booting with a local instant storage, you probably want to have a second EBS volume attached as a secondary data volume. That's where you're storing your long-term data. Very good for temporary or swap files because, again, fast, super fast IOPS to it. Any data that's replicated across a cluster could be stored in instant storage. And for auto-scaling stateless applications, instant storage is fine too, because when you have auto-scaling and you're not storing any data to your local file system, that means stateless, then you know you've got lots of other instances that are going to have the storage as well. And again, you don't need to worry about replicating because you're not storing anything on it. Also note for instant storage that it's difficult to create AMIs when you have instances that are using instant storage as the boot volume. It's easy when it's EBS because EBS has that snapshot capability. So to create a custom AMI from EBS, a snapshot is created and then the snapshot is turned into an AMI. But with instant storage, there is no snapshot capability. So you actually have to create a second you have to do a second step. Actually, the first step before you create the AMI is called bundling. And so you actually have to bundle the files into what they call it a bundle. You have to bundle them up, and that basically replaces the snapshot. So it's an extra step to create the bundle before you can create an AMI from instant storage. Okay, if an instant storage is used as your boot volume, you cannot stop your instance because you will lose the data. Okay, and it does not have full volume encryption options for instant storage. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Okay, looks like another question came in. I might as well answer it at this point. Is there a difference between security groups and route tables? Yes, okay. So security groups are firewalls rules. They're not route tables. Route tables determine the path that traffic will take. So security groups determine what protocols from what source and destination is allowed, but route tables determine the path that the traffic will actually take. So for example, in our route tables, we had to say that we want to reach the internet by going through the internet gateway or through the NAT instance, and that is the route, right? That's not the firewall rule. I have two applications running on the same instance. One requires higher IOPS. What should I do? Okay, if you have one application running on the same instance, one requires higher IOPS, well then you basically just have to go with the higher IOPS EBS volume option. Can I get one general SSD and one provisioned? Yeah, you can do multiple EBS volumes on a same instance. So that may be answering your other question too. Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of EBS volumes. You can actually RAID them together too. So if you want to do a RAID 0 or RAID 1 of EBS volumes, that's supported. Okay, all right, let's keep going.